welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the next part of the coffee section of the Eat Like a Gilmore cookbook, and it was interesting. I made quite a mess in my kitchen, and the things that I made didn't turn out looking like the things in the book, but I'm assuming that happens to everybody, maybe not. But I did have a lot of fun, and everything was delicious. So let me get into what I was doing. So I started with the college latte, and I actually did this one not on camera because it was just learning my espresso machine and learning how to steam the milk, and so I practiced that a little bit before I got to the next section. But one thing about these recipes that I'm about to show you today with the college latte, and also the other one is called Mocha Chocolate Caramel Rollatino. There's the Suki way, which, you know, Suki is an extraordinary chef. She has to make things over the top and delicious and beautiful. And then, of course, there's the Lorelei way, who makes it pretty much good enough, and she's in a hurry, but she still wants it to taste good. So I have some instant espresso. So I did show you one way of doing that with the mocha chocolate caramel rollatino, and I will show you that. I made a mess in my kitchen, and sometimes my angles and my lighting was a little bit off, but hopefully you'll be able to follow along and see what I came up with. So I did the mocha chocolate rollatino, which mine didn't look like that. I forgot to get chocolate chips, so there's one thing, but they were garnish. The mocha sauce and the caramel sauce were really easy to make. The caramel sauce is delicious. I actually saved some, so I'm going to be using it for ice cream or, I don't know, something else, maybe my regular coffee. It was really good, and I plan on using that more. The whipped cream, the homemade whipped cream, was so good. I mean, it tastes just as good as the Ready Whip. And you'll see in this mocha chocolate caramel rollatino that the Lorelei way has the handmade whipped cream, while Lorelei's has a can of Ready Whip just spread on top. And I did show both ways, so that was fun. When you're doing the steamed milk, the cookbook does say to use 2% milk. Well, they suggest it to be for the best look. Of course, you could do it with skim milk. Your bubbles will be a little bigger. If you want to do whole milk or half and half, your bubbles are going to be smaller. It just depends on your taste, really. So I'm going to show you how I did that.
Okay, so we're going to start with the caramel sauce first. There is a cup of brown sugar, a stick of butter, and a quarter of a cup of milk. And now turn on the heat, let it melt while you pretty much constantly stir the mixture. Look at that, it's already starting to look so good. Continue to stir while it's boiling until it starts to become nice and thick. When it gets to the right consistency, add a tablespoon of vanilla and remove from heat, and continue to stir just a little bit more. Perfect. And now I'm going to make the mocha sauce. All you need to do is get a chocolate bar that's 65 to 80% chocolate and melt it. It was probably the easiest step in this whole thing. Now it's time for the whipped cream. There's a half a cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 tablespoon of superfine sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. I accidentally got a little bit too much in there, but it still was fine. Now turn your mixer onto medium speed and beat it until stiff peaks form. I skipped ahead because nobody wants to sit there and watch a beater mix for that long, but this is what it's supposed to look like, and it's perfect and delicious. Here's my espresso machine. It's just a $40 Mr. Coffee machine that I got at Walmart. I'm sure better ones are out there and could do a better job than this, but this one was good for what I needed today. I grind my espresso beans very fine for this portafilter. And when I put the grinds in there, I make sure to press it down a little bit with the measuring scoop that they provided me. I got my water inside the machine. I have my carafe ready to go, and so it's time to brew my espresso and steam my milk. I fill the mug about halfway full of milk. That gives it room to expand as the bubbles form. Okay, my machine is on and I'm ready to go. As soon as it starts brewing into the carafe, I switch it over to steam so I can steam my milk, and then I switch it back over to brew so the espresso can finish brewing. I sped this part up just a little bit. Okay, so let's assemble our drink. We'll put the mocha sauce and the caramel sauce at the bottom of the cup. Put the espresso on top of that. And then free pour the milk on top of that. That was not the best angle for that shot, and I apologize. And then of course put your whipped cream on top. You could put a little mocha and caramel drizzle on top for a garnish and also for extra deliciousness. And enjoy.
It's really good. Doesn't look too pretty, but it tastes really good.
Okay, now for the simpler Lorelei method of the same drink. Measure how much milk you're going to need with the coffee cup that you want to use. Go ahead and pour that milk into the saucepan, and after you do that, put your mocha and your caramel sauce on the bottom of your cup. Use the amount of instant espresso that is mentioned on the package, but you could do more or less to taste. Go ahead and start heating up your milk on the stove. Use a frothing wand to get the consistency of bubbles that you desire. When it's good, go ahead and pour it on top of your caramel mocha and espresso. Now get your Ready Whip out because you're going to put it right on top.
Okay, the Lorelei version of the caramel mocha whirlachino. It's just as good. Almost tastes the same. Whipped cream, of course, tastes a little different, but the drink is good. If you have an espresso machine at home, maybe you can learn to do this too. I have a link for the book and my espresso machine down below. It was just a $40 espresso machine. It worked. I have had experience in the past as a barista at Starbucks, but that was 10 years ago, and this definitely tested my knowledge. And since it's a lower quality steamer and espresso machine, it definitely didn't come up with Starbucks quality drinks, but they were still good. Now it's time for the candy cane coffee, which is this one. Oh, again, mine didn't turn out looking that way. It was delicious, especially with the whipped cream on top. It was a lot easier to make. It didn't have the mocha sauce and the caramel sauce that I had to make, and I already had the whipped cream from the last recipe, so I didn't have to make that one again. So it definitely made a lot less mess in my kitchen, and since it took regular coffee and not an espresso or steamed milk, that made it 100 times easier as well. So let me show you how I did that one.
This one starts with brewing the perfect cup of coffee, and if you want to know how to do that, please look at my last video about Coffee 101. It will tell you everything you need to know to make this cup perfect. I smashed up some Starlight mints with a hammer. This was a lot of fun. Now the peppermint syrup. There's a cup of sugar, a cup of water, and a tablespoon of peppermint extract. Put the peppermint syrup at the bottom of your coffee cup. Pour your perfect coffee right on top. Whipped cream on top, and then garnish with your crushed peppermints, and voila!
Best one yet. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed watching along. Stay tuned, I have more coming reviewing this book. The interesting section coming up next is going to be the cocktails and the mocktails and other assorted beverages. I'm learning it as I'm going, so I'm going to share with you all the ups and downs that comes with doing this. It's been a lot of fun. I really hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you can try some of these recipes at home. Maybe they'll look prettier. If you do, put it on your Instagram, tag me, Randoms of Joy. You can follow me on there. You can see all kinds of pictures of what I'm doing, and my cats, and my dogs, and me, and everything else going on. Please let me know how yours turned out. I would love to see yours. I am not paid by this author or this publisher or anybody that has to do with this book. I am just enjoying going through it. I'm very happy I got it for Christmas this year. I really highly suggest it, especially if you love the Gilmore Girls just like me. So thanks for coming by. I appreciate your support. If you're watching me during the first week of February of 2019, please check out my last video because there's a giveaway and I want you to be a part of it. So go check it out. It's in my Dollar Tree haul. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great day. Bye.